have changed so drastically in recent years. Wouldn't you agree? So if you're feeling isolated and disconnected professionally from trying to pivot from networking in person to networking online, you are not alone. Today I'm here to answer the question, how to engage in an online community. In this video, I'm going to share the #1 way to engage an online community to position yourself as an expert in your profession. I'm also going to share the #1 faux pas when engaging a community online and how to avoid it. Then I'm going to tell you how to engage an online community to generate unprecedented professional growth. And as a bonus, I have a killer strategy I want to share with you about how to cut the fluff of your conversations online. More on that near the end of this video. All right, so let's get into it. The #1 way to engage an online community to position yourself as an expert in your profession is simple. It's utilize the 3 C's: co-elevate, collaborate, connect. See, these 3 C's are tenets of the mission statement here at Down and Dirty Networking. And we have proven time and time again that these are effective for engaging a community, even an online community, whether it be a community of connections you create, or if you're a member of an online community like Down and Dirty Networking. Here's why these work. All 3 are two-way communication and mutual support. When you co-elevate and collaborate, you truly connect. Now, I have come to learn that who you know and who knows you is important. Who you know and who knows you is important. But what's most important is how they know you. That's what's most important. Do you want to be known as a collaborator, as a co-elevator, as a connector? These are things that will absolutely elevate your reputational capital with your online community. Everyone loves to work with someone who is a co-elevator, a collaborator, a connector. And see, when you have high reputational capital, this is what positions you as a trusted expert in your profession. I know this firsthand because this is how I've established myself at every level of my career, starting out as a corporate professional and as I've transitioned into being an entrepreneur and CEO here at Down and Dirty Networking. I was always focused on these 3 C's: co-elevate, collaborate, and connect. And I found it to really work at every level. So, do you want to boost your reputational capital? Are you ready to embrace the 3 C's so you can co-elevate, collaborate, and connect and be positioned as a trusted expert in your profession? If that's you, go ahead and let us know in comments. And I can't wait to hear who's committed to embracing the 3 C's to co-elevate, collaborate, and connect. All right, so next up, let's talk about the #1 faux pas when engaging a community online, and more importantly, how to avoid it. So the faux pas is this. It's when you're focused on selling and you're focused on making transactions. When your focus is on selling and transactions, it's any time that you're making an ask. Maybe you're asking for a sale, maybe you're asking for a lead, or maybe you're asking for a new job or a promotion, or, it's always that kind of, hey, it's always about me and what I need. That's what we call traditional networking or transactional networking. When you've got that transactional mindset, it's a one-way street, all about you. Now, this is one of the most known, the #1 faux pas that I see in online communities, but I also see it in person, but it's just so much more prevalent in person. And it is a surefire way to disengage a community. See, when you actually lead with selling, you disengage. You don't engage. You disengage everybody from you. Now, I have an example of this. At one of our past guest events for Down and Dirty Networking, which are all virtual and online, we had a guest enter the room. So as soon as we let everybody in the room, within seconds, before I even could really start saying welcome, within seconds, this person blasted all of their information, their contact information, what they were selling. It was a huge sales pitch. It was long. I remember it was really, really long. It took all the comments. They blasted it in the comments. Again, before I even had a chance to really welcome anybody and tell everybody that we are not about 30-second commercials and we are not about sales pitches. The feedback that I got from attendees and members was that this instantly disengaged them. It turned them off to wanting to talk to this person and engage with him. And so it wasn't really a surprise that within minutes of him posting that, he jumped out of the event. Probably because he realized that we weren't transaction minded, we were relational minded. And so don't be that person. Don't blast your contact information online. Don't immediately post someone who says that they're looking for a solution to something. Don't immediately post what you can sell them. Instead, the best way to avoid this faux pas is to focus on relational networking. This is where you focus on building relationships and you're not selling yourself. This is where you leverage those 3 C's I already talked about earlier. You want to co-elevate, collaborate, and connect. So make sure that you're posting if you're in a social media environment or if you're in an online event and there's chat turned on. Make sure that you're doing one of the 3 C's. You're co-elevating something that's being discussed, or you're collaborating or reaching out and sharing ideas, or you're connecting with them. When you do this, it will work wonders to avoid that number 1 faux pas of being transaction minded once and for all. And that way you can truly engage and not be the person that's disengaging or forcing people to want to disengage from you. All right, now before I engage, I share how to engage with an online community to generate unprecedented professional growth. So before I share that, I want to remind you to subscribe to this channel. I put out videos every week to help you network more effectively like we do here in Down and Dirty Networking. So make sure to subscribe to this channel. All right, so let's get to it. How to engage an online community to generate unprecedented professional growth. You ready? There's a couple of steps. Number 1, don't prejudge. So step number 1 is don't prejudge. Prejudging is really easy when you're in an online community. Have you ever maybe experienced, maybe you've been guilty of this, I know I have, when you enter into a physical room or a virtual room when you're online, and you're kind of scanning the room for the person that you want to engage with, the person that you think you can connect with because they can do for you. Maybe they've got the title of the job you want. Oh, that's the boss over there. If you're an employee, you're like, oh, I need to schmooze with them. I want to be top of mind for the next promotion or project. Or maybe you're looking for someone that looks like a target client if you're in sales or an entrepreneur. And you're like, oh, I want to connect with them so I can sell them what I have. Well, as you see, this is a prejudgment. And this mindset speaks back to what I talked about in that transactional or traditional networking mindset, where things are all about you. When you prejudge, you prevent opportunities, resources, and solutions from coming your way. You prevent opportunities for a relationship. So make sure that you are not prejudging people. Make sure you actually lead with wanting to have a discussion. That leads to step number 2, talk less and question more. Here at Down and Dirty Networking, I've already told you we're focused on relational networking. And one of our 10 core values is to talk less and question more. And this is a key way to make sure that you're leading with the mindset of building relationships and having meaningful conversations. Now, when you are questioning more, you are actually resisting the temptation to sell. And it makes it easier for you to learn about people and to learn from them. So this is a great approach when you are jumping into an online community and you're wanting to engage them. Ask questions. This also helps with any nervousness or awkwardness that you might be experiencing. So talk less and question more is a great step 2 to follow. All right, so that leads us over to step 3. Step 3 is follow up. One of the biggest mistakes that I see, and I've been guilty of this too, is not following up. When you follow up, you are nurturing the relationship with the person that you were talking to. Now, in online meetings, I find that people don't follow up. Like, for example, when someone says, hey, we need to connect, and maybe they've exchanged information because you've had a great collaborative and meaningful conversation, but then I find out that they don't ever reach back out to me. If I've sent them some information, say, hey, reach back out to me. Or maybe they've sent me some contact information and I have failed to reach back out to them. And I'm actually shocked how many times that I see myself and others just fail and just fall down on failing to follow up. And how many missed opportunities are there? How many missed resources, connections, and relationships are there when you don't follow up? See, following up is engaging your community. Now, following up is easier today than it's ever been, especially with social media. We can easily check in on somebody just by looking at their profile, finding out what milestones or celebrations or big events that they're having so we can chime in to co-elevate them, leveraging those 3 C's. But we can also message them and just quickly check in if we're following up on something from a conversation earlier. We have email, we have text. There's a lot of ways that can easily check in. And anytime you're checking in or following up or keeping yourself top of mind because they're top of mind with you, this is how you nurture the relationships. This is how you build community. Because community is not just a bunch of people in the room asking for themselves. Community is this shared space where everyone wants to co-elevate, collaborate, and connect, where everyone has a shared mindset and everyone's working together for the greater good of the community, and it's a trusted resource you can rely on. It's a great way to make sure that you're not feeling isolated, you're not feeling disconnected. So building community is very, very important. This is how you do it. You make sure you stay connected and checked in and you follow up. Now, here's the best part. When you put all 3 of these steps together, that's when the magic happens. This is when you will generate unprecedented professional growth. So you don't prejudge, you talk less and question more, and you follow up. And I can prove it. See, I've experienced this for myself. Early on when I was networking, I prejudged a lady who was in a side hustle. She was promoting her travel business. Now at the time, I didn't know that that was her side hustle. She had, presented herself as a travel professional for a company that I had done a lot of one-to-ones with other professionals in that particular company. So I kind of felt like I already knew everything there was to know about the company. So number one, I prejudged her. Now at the time, I did not realize that it was her side hustle, as I mentioned. And I had, because I had all these many one-to-ones, I was just like, yeah, I really don't want to do this. But she had asked so nicely that I just couldn't resist telling her no. So I said yes. And I'm so glad that I did. Now, when I attended the one-to-one, I was 100% focused on transactions. See, that's where the prejudgment comes for. I'm on transactions. What can you do for me? How can you help me? It's like scanning the room. And so I went ahead and had the one-to-one, obviously still with that same mindset in my mind. But it quickly shifted. See, I learned that her travel business was her side hustle. And since at the time I had a side hustle too, which I still do, but at the time I had a side hustle as well. So instead of listening and hearing to sales pitches that I thought I was going to have because I was prejudging, I was expecting them, instead I started asking her questions. And I started saying, so step 2, I started asking questions about how she got into the side hustle, about what she was doing, what her challenges were, what her successes were, what are her best practices. We ended up exchanging a bunch of strategies and solutions and shared best practices. It was a wonderful conversation. And then at the end of the conversation, she revealed that she was an HR director for a very large company. And she asked if she could hire me as a speaker because she was so impressed with the questions that I asked and the solutions and tips that I had shared. I was blown away. And of course I said, yes, you could hire me as a speaker. I would love to speak to your company. Now, the third step is that I followed up with her. I followed up with her by giving her some of the resources I told her that I had that would help her with her side hustle. So I actually extended those to her. I thanked her for the wonderful conversation and the tips that she gave me. And then I also followed up on the opportunity to speak to her company. So here's one of the things that I learned. See, not only did I get hired to speak to her company, but that one speaking engagement led to many other paid speaking engagements and to clients. Think about what would have happened if I had just prejudged her, said no to that one-to-one. Look at all of the resources, opportunities, and solutions that I absolutely would have said no to. Many of the solutions she and I discussed for my side hustle, I still use today. So I want to really share with you, embrace all of these tips. I have many examples. This is just one of many examples where I have learned that if you lead with all 3 of those steps, you don't prejudge, you actually question more and talk less, so talk less and question more, and you actually follow up and do the things you say you're going to do, you keep in check-in, and you nurture the relationship, it will lead to unprecedented professional growth. Isn't that exciting? All right, so let's keep the momentum going. One of the challenges to building a community of your own or engaging in a community is weeding through all of the fluff to get the people open to engaging with you to have meaningful conversations. Now, let me share what I mean by fluff. By fluff, I mean all of the things that get in the way of meaningful conversations, like being transactional minded or 30-second commercials or prejudging people. Instead of having to weed through all the fluff and find the people that are really open to you, I'm going to give you an instant bonus. Click the link in the description below and I will send you a personal invite to our sneak peek event. This virtual sneak peek event of Down and Dirty Networking is where you can engage with a community that cuts the fluff for you. We've done it for you. Our virtual sneak peek events are filled with amazing people building lasting relationships, and you could be next. So click the link in the description below to get your personal invitation and test out all of these amazing tips that you're watching here. And I look forward to seeing you in the sneak peek. Thanks for watching and happy networking.